Is this little known method the secret to actually sustaining and getting realistic weight loss and keeping the pounds off? Let's dive in. What's up, everybody? I'm Dr. Livingood. Glad to have you on the channel. If you haven't followed us before, go ahead and hit the notification subscription button. We are putting out videos like this to help you, equip you to experience real health. Reuters lately just posted that the obesity rates in America are going to go above 50% by the year 2030. What? That's insane. So I don't want to say that to guilt you. If you have extra weight, obesity is probably 30, 35 plus pounds of extra weight gain. If you're sitting in that boat or you know you need to get some weight loss, then I have some revelation for you today and a method that we're seeing very few people know about. You can easily do, and I think it's the most practical way and possibly the solution to this epidemic. Now, what I mean by that is we are in the era, over the last 35 years, obesity rates have gone from about 10% per state of people being obese to now by 2030, 50%. In that period of time, we have more diets, more meal approaches, more ways to eat and approach eating, vegetarianism, carnivorism. I don't know why I said isms with those, but you know what I mean. Paleo, keto, Atkins, all of these diets. And we have so many different approaches, so many different books, so many gyms popping up, yet we continue to gain weight as Americans. Something's not working. Could it be that it is more important to focus on when and how much you are eating than it is what you are eating? Good question. Let's do this. Before we dive in, if you want more info of how to pull off the rotational fasting method, then click the link below because I put a special training together for you, breaking the entire thing down so you can implement this style to control how much and when you are eating, to have breakthroughs and release the handcuffs of what you are eating to make it sustainable long term. So here's how it works. If I were to draw out and kind of lay out for you a specific actually we say a chart here. So if this part of the chart on this side of things is going to be fat storing mode, okay? So this part's fat storing. Then below the line is going to be fat burning. Now, which one would you rather be in? Put a comment below. Do you want to be a fat burner or a sugar burner? Because whatever fuel you put in your body, that's what the vehicle is going to run off of. So a lot of you are going to the gas pump and you are filling your vehicle, the gas pump's the dinner table, with sugar. So it's going to run off sugar. You eat an average of 150 pounds of sugar every single year. So obviously that's got to change. Now, I'm not going to focus too much on the what, but we do understand if we want to burn fat, we got to put healthy fats in. We got to have a well-balanced real food diet, right? So instead of focusing on the first aspect of losing weight, getting our diets under control, getting our nutrition under control, the what of that is not the concern today, because there's 1,000 different approaches to alter your metabolism as far as what's going in. And they all work. Why? There are over 2,000 interactions in your body that decide how your body burns energy. 2,000. So if you switch to becoming a vegetarian, or you just eat meat, or you eat lots of fat, or you're keto or paleo, or you're only, whatever it may be, whatever your approach is, all of those are going to have an impact on the energy system in the body. That's why they all work. Now, I think there's certain periods of time for certain diseases and certain conditions. So I'm not saying any of those are wrong. I think they all work at certain parts. So congratulations, whatever your diet plan you're on, that's awesome, as long as it's real food. Because a vegetarian sometimes can eat a bunch of soy-based products, which are mostly genetically modified. They could also have pizza and beer. A person eating only meat could just pound down bacon, like the old Atkins diet type thing, and unhealthy meat. So they have to be real foods with low amounts of toxins, as real as possible, then you are healthy. Make sense? So that's number one that we got to get in, is we got that fat storing side of things, the fat storage. Let me get this into view, because you are looking at the storage. So fat storing. So if we want to be in that mode, yes, what matters, but more what I want to talk about today is when you are eating and how much are you eating? Because those things dictate so much more. Let me explain. So what happens is, if this is the fat storing curve, if you put in carbohydrates, that carbohydrate rate is going to go up and you're going to spike. This is insulin right here. That is spiking. That is the enemy. We do not want insulin raising in our body. Now we need it. It's made by the body, but its job is to conduct the energy train. Insulin drives all the hormones, cortisol, women, your female hormones, men, your testosterone and male hormones. It's dictating the thyroid. It is the bully on the playground. It is the engine of the energy train. So when this thing is off and when there's a lot of it, it's going to choose to burn a sugar for energy. So this is going to be sugar burning mode up here. So when you eat carbohydrates, those are primarily sugars. Your body's teaching and learning to burn that for fuel. Now, if you add carbohydrates with protein plus carbs plus fat, you spike even a little bit higher because it's just a lot more consumption going in. Now, if you just have a protein meal, you are lowering that. So if this is just protein here, it's going to be down on this level. It's about 50% less. And if you're having fat, you're going to have very little, if any, insulin spiking. Now, if insulin stays down and it does not prompt the body to burn sugar for fuel, then you can start to get into fat burning mode. So yes, a little bit of this is what you are eating, but where it really becomes powerful, if you really want to tap into fat burning mode, then you want to go below this line. So it's not as simple as just changing what you're eating to get into fat burning mode. To accelerate it, and I believe the solution to fix your metabolism, speed up your weight loss results, your hormone repairing, there's so many benefits when you control insulin. It's crazy because it impacts so many things. But to get down into here, yes, you want significant carb restriction, but it really comes when you start changing your consumption, okay? When this consumption goes down and you can start having meals or skipping a meal or just eating less. We've been taught eat late, eat great, even late. That's like, that was the Taco Bell. You remember this? The ad years ago? And you're being taught to eat all day long. So marketers got smart. One, they started feeding us junk food, but then they started dictating when we ate all of that. And if they could get us eating 5, 6, 7 meals a day, some of you may even be on an approach where you have to eat 6 or 7 meals a day to keep your metabolism cranked up. That's crazy talk. You're staying up here. We want to get you to blow this line. Well, you have to reduce your consumption. So if you've overconsumed on the holidays, on a vacation, just in general, then the response to that is to underconsume. That does not require a confusing diet. It doesn't count, you don't count points, none of that. You just start cutting down your portion sizes, okay? And that can be very simple. So that's gonna get you into fat burning mode. And then next, if you can pair this, right, with an IF method, okay, this is intermittent fasting. Some of you may have experienced this before. You start cutting out breakfast and you slide breakfast to lunch, and you only eat lunch and dinner, and you only eat between a 6-hour window during the day. So maybe you eat at noon, then you eat again at 6, and then you're done. No late night snacking, anything like that. And then you don't eat the next day until noon. Now in the mornings you can have water, you can, I still do some coffee. Some people have insulin spikes for that. Sometimes a really low carbohydrate green juice is possible. You just don't want anything to spike the insulin too much and take you back up this way, okay? Now if you can combine that with high intensity exercise, so if you do IF, which is curbing consumption, especially in the morning, and then you could do a high intensity exercise, which we'll call a HIIT workout, high intensity interval training. This is really high intensity, low duration. What it's doing is that type of exercise drives insulin down because it burns all the sugar up in your system, puts you into fat burning mode, research shows, for the next 12 to 24 hours as an afterburn effect. So you can see how we can really get down all the way to here, okay? Now, here becomes the problem. Some of you may have already been practicing this. I didn't tell you anything new. Some of you, your minds might be blown right now of like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. If I can curb my consumption back, this is very doable. During a 6 to 8 hour window, I can pretty much eat whatever I want. Remember, I'm not beating you up over what to eat, but if you can choose more healthy fats, healthy carbs, healthy and smaller amounts of protein, you're gonna be good. But when you eat during that window, even if you totally screw it up, at least you're curbing your consumption so that your body can have a break from the insulin spikes and from digesting food. Now, what you will notice, and this is for you IF method people, intermittent fasting method, and why I believe rotational fasting is much more superior is because you will just keep skipping breakfast, which is great over time, but you will eventually plateau. And then what starts to happen, just like with exercise, is you'll start to see this curve go back up into sugar burning mode. Have you experienced this? You stop losing weight, you stop burning fat. Just like workout regimens and lots of diet plans, you go the other direction. Why? Because we are rotationally not challenging the body just like you would have to do for workouts. Meaning, if you lifted the same weight to build your biceps and you just lifted the same weight over 4, 5, 6 weeks, it wouldn't be hard anymore and you would stop growing and challenging the body for muscle. Your metabolism works the exact same way. That is the power of rotational fasting. So that starts to come down to when to eat and varying that, and how much you eat and varying that. When you can change these two variables regularly, you avoid this entire breaking of the curve, going back up, plateauing factor, and you continue to surge yourself that direction. Now, I did an entire training to break down how to actually do this, but if you understand the concept, you can realize, oh yeah, I'm just plateauing, and then we'll start to teach you how you can incorporate and maybe baseline start with an intermittent fasting method to just get you going. And for those of you that have done intermittent fasting or are doing it, how do you rotationally change the schedule on a weekly basis to challenge your metabolism so you don't flatline and you experience the maximum benefits of burning fat? That makes a way more sustainable and a way easier plan to follow, because even if you totally mess up what you are eating, if you just keep your consumption limited and you just limit a few meals or skip a few meals, then you can totally mess that up on vacation or with friends or whatever it is. But when you can control the factors of when you eat and how much you eat, you can take back control of your life, of your weight, of your health, the medications, and then we see all kinds of massive change. So I put together an entire training on this where I broke it down with hundreds of people. You can watch me interact with them live, and we've seen some crazy results come of this. I want to give you this training for free. All you got to do below is just click on the link and you'll have a simple registration form. Just pop your email in. We'll send that link right over to you, and you can go through the entire training. We'll really break down the rotational fasting method and how we'll give you a week-by-week plan of a simple 4-phase, 4-step process that's going to teach you the rotational fasting method. It's changed my life. It's changed tens of thousands of other people, but so many don't know about it, so don't miss out. Click the link below, and as always, if you enjoyed this, we have a lot more goodies coming when it comes to getting to the cause of your health issues. When you can get to the cause, you can get to the cure. That's what we're after. So I'm Dr. Livingood, and you can hit the subscribe button to make sure you stay in the know for all of those, and the notification button. And if you have any questions, comment below. I'm super active trying to make sure I get you on a personal level to help you out in your journey to experience real health. See you soon.